Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to just do a quick video talking about PlayStation 4. So, I did not buy one. People over the years have told me to buy one. People have been um, rude about buying one, telling me how the Xbox sucks and this and that, and I always just kind of say the same thing. It doesn't really matter to me. I just sort of prefer the Xbox ecosystem. I always have. I've always found it a little better online. Sony's really caught up in that regard. But overall, I just prefer their ecosystem, their interfaces and stuff. So my friend Brian knew I really wanted to finally play Bloodborne and Fire Pro Wrestling, and he loaned me. He was very gracious. He loaned me his Spider-Man PlayStation 4. I think it's Pro. Maybe it isn't Pro, but I think it is. And he happens to have digital copies of Bloodborne and Fire Pro. There are a couple other PS4 games I do want to play, like, well, Darkest Dungeon is on all the systems, but it's only physical on PS4 and Switch. Um, Street Fighter I would have liked to try, Street Fighter 5. But yeah, really Bloodborne and Fire Pro were the two main ones. So Fire Pro I got to enjoy. Um, I've been playing it in spurts. I really like it. I've always loved the Fire Pro series. It's probably my favorite wrestling series. I still play the Dreamcast one from time to time with friends, Brian included. And this one was updated with all the New Japan people. A lot of them aren't there any longer, but like Kenny Omega and stuff. Not a lot of them, but some of them aren't there any longer. But it's really fun. It's really good. If it was on Xbox, if it was a timed exclusive, I would have totally pick that up, and I still will if it ever does come out on Xbox. I don't think it's going to. Oh, Shenmue 3 is another one, but I'm still leery that that's going to come out for PS4. I'm wondering if that's going to go to next gen or maybe kind of straddle both generations, but anyway, or whatever. But the main one I really wanted to play was Bloodborne. So my buddy Hesh, Eric, I've spoken about him before. We went to see Godflesh together last year. He came up from New Mexico all the way to New York, and we went to a concert together. He went out and repurchased a PlayStation Plus account for 3 months just to play Bloodborne with me because we've always played the Dark Souls games together. I think we've beaten one and three. Two I beat by myself, and two he sort of got stuck on and never continued. But it's also harder to play together with two. But anyway, we've been playing Bloodborne. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's great. I don't know if I love it as much as Dark Souls, but it's up there. It definitely feels like the areas are a little tighter so far, a little smaller. Um, the game plays way more aggressively than Dark Souls, which has more of a defensive type of gameplay. A lot of one hit, back off, where Bloodborne is you really have to get in there quickly and get your hits in because if you don't recuperate your health. So like if you take damage and you hit someone, you get some health back, but you only have a few seconds to do that. Otherwise, it stays down your health. I enjoy the graphic style. I enjoy a lot about it. I think it's awesome. If it came out again on Xbox, which I know it won't because it's a Sony exclusive and I think they paid to develop it or whatever, it's really fun. And I am intrigued as to what the tie-in between Bloodborne and Dark Souls is because in the Artorias DLC of Dark Souls 1, there's a guy that looks exactly like a hunter outside of the Artorias boss fight that you can talk to, and I think you can fight. And he looks just like one of the hunters. But I'm really liking the game, and we're probably about a quarter of the way through it. So I have, a couple months left with Eric's PlayStation Plus, and I don't want to hold on to my friend's system too long. But once I do beat it, I don't think I'm going to do the Chalice dungeons or anything. Probably just do the main story and then give it back to Brian. Um, Sony versus Microsoft, sort of. I do not like the controller nearly as much. The last Sony console I had with these types of controllers was the PS2. I played the PS3 a little bit at a couple friends' houses. I don't like a couple things. I don't like this huge button here. It's just big and cumbersome. I'm not a fan of the way it's held, like ergonomically, compared to the Xbox controller. I think the Xbox controller is more comfortable, and I do not like this bright light for two reasons. It kills the battery a little faster, I'm reading. But it's also so bright that it's sort of distracting in a sense, so I don't understand what they used it for. My friend Eric said that it might be because they were doing something with VR and something with a light, but I don't know. I think this is sort of silly. I know a lot of people don't like this. The other thing is I don't like the triggers. These triggers feel kind of small and like not flimsy. They're a different feel than the Xbox One triggers, and I just overall I like the hand placement and the buttons better on the Xbox One. So there's one thing I like a little more about the Xbox One. I also prefer the menu system on the Xbox One, but that may be because I'm used to it, and I find the online capabilities and sort of menu switching quicker and easier on the Xbox One. We had a couple times where we were in party chats while we were playing Bloodborne on the PS4, and it would throw us out of the chat over and over and over. I don't know if that was just an error that was happening that night because I haven't been able to duplicate it, but there was that. The only other issue I really ran into was I put it into sleep mode and it wouldn't wake up. I tried pushing all the buttons, I turned the system back on. Eventually, I unplugged it, and it ended up um, doing something to the external hard drive, and I had to like repair the hard drive, which isn't good. Um, so that was kind of weird. Um, but yeah, overall, they're very similar systems. I mean, there are, I know the Xbox One X, which I don't have. The Xbox One X is now a little more powerful than the PS4 Pro, but they're pretty equivalent, besides the fact that Sony has their exclusives and Microsoft has theirs, but they have less exclusives. Overall, this year, or this generation, excuse me, Sony definitely beat out Microsoft with exclusives. I mean, Crackdown just came out, and nobody really is going crazy over it. It seems to be okay. Um, where I would have much rather had Bloodborne or Fire Pro or again Shenmue 3 when that comes out. So overall, I still prefer the controller and the ecosystem and the interface on the Xbox. But if it starts getting digital only or diskless, I'm out. I'm not going to ever be one to not purchase and tangibly own something. I don't want to like rent it and then, if they decide to take it off the market or something, you don't have it anymore like iTunes or any kind of digital service, streaming service. I don't like that. So I know Microsoft is going to do, they're saying like a diskless SKU. I don't know if that's for the next console. I think it is. I think that's like the cheaper rendition where it's like digital only and it's not going to be as powerful. And then they said they're going to do another one with discs that is going to like be really powerful. Um, and I think they're saying the PS5 is kind of going to be in between the two. So it's going to be like discless digital console on the Xbox One, and then like PS5, and then the newest, most expensive, probably $500 or $600 Xbox is going to be like the most powerful. But again, I'm not sure if I want to jump into the next generation when it does happen. I have a lot going on in life, very busy, work's been busy, things are changing at home, and I don't know if I have the time to be completely honest. So I'm going to see. I'm playing that out because I don't want to spend a ton of money and then not really take advantage of having video games. And I have so many games on the Xbox One, the Dreamcast, the Saturn that I really want to beat, or the Wii U. So yeah, that's about it. Overall, I'm enjoying the PlayStation 4. It's cool to check it out because I never really got a chance. I don't think I ever played a PS4. I think. Oh no, I did. I did once. I'm sorry. We played at my friend Mike's house. Silent Hills, the PT demo, and that was really cool. I enjoyed that. So yeah, I was never one for this like fanboy back and forth arguing. There was actually a guy on my channel years ago who every video would comment, "Well, PS4 is better. Well, PS4 has more RAM. Well, you're playing on an inferior." And it's like I'm in my 30s. You think I give a crap about what system is better? Like I'm just playing video games in my downtime to have a good time with friends. Like I don't. What are we like 12? So I find that stuff very strange with the older crowd. But what do I know? So yeah, I'm enjoying my time, really liking Bloodborne, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about Bloodborne and my impressions with the PlayStation 4. Thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.